This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, September 27th, 2006, and this is episode number 158 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm your host, Matt Hochberg of MGMstudios.org. On the panel today is Len Testa, who runs touringplans.com. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding. And we also have Mike Scopa of mouseplanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
Does this make me look fat?
What's that from?
You don't know where that's from?
Does this make me look fat?
Oh, Matt must know. This is his favorite attraction. Dude.
Oh, it's Turtle Talk.
Turtle Talk. Remember he puts the bikini top on, Len?
Vaguely. All right.
I guess right. You should have gone with the Bubbles joke, Scopa.
I gotcha.
Well, it's Wednesday. We're answering your listener questions, and we're going to start off with a question from Mickey of browniesonthebrain.com, who writes, "Hi, guys. Is there a resource to find out what conventions are coming to Disney World resorts? My husband is an IT manager, and, well, I'd like to go to Disney World more often and have someone else pay for it. Thanks for all the great Disney World information and a very entertaining podcast."
Yeah, at the Orlando Visitor and Convention Bureau maintains a list of not only every upcoming convention from now through like 2011, but also the approximate number of people and hotel rooms that are going to be reserved by those conventions, so you can get a decent idea of how the kind of impact that the convention is going to have.
Although most conventions really don't spend too much time in the parks anyway, right? I mean, it's just another place for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the impact of a lot of the other conventions is relatively low. There's one coming up in second week of December, right around the time of MouseFest, because the performance racing industry or performance racing league, they've got like 45,000 people coming. But I mean, the impact to Disney World is going to be negligible.
And if there's any impact, it would be at night, not during the day, probably.
Right. Yeah, because they're doing stuff. Yeah.
My favorite convention story is from my girlfriend when she was working down there, and someone from Coronado Springs who was there for the convention called up and asked if they could have a room not near any children. And it's like, you're at Disney World.
Yeah.
What'd you expect when you were coming down here? Our next question is from Sharon from Illinois, who writes, "Hi guys, love the podcast. My family's next trip to the world will be part of a corporate trip hosted by the Swan and Dolphin. There are some special events included, specifically a VIP coast-to-coast event at Disney Studios and something titled Black, White, and Wow to be held at Epcot's World Showplace. I was just wondering if you could shed any light on what to expect from either of these events. Can't seem to find any info at all. Thanks. I'll keep listening and would be happy to share details with you when we return."
It's a corporate event at the Swan and Dolphin, huh?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Well, the event at the studios, I suspect, much like any other corporate event at the studios, is always the same usual thing. They set up a bunch of platforms, usually on Sunset Boulevard and on Hollywood Boulevard, usually in Rock and Roller Coaster, the plaza over there, and then in front of the Big Hat. And they just basically, they talk and do whatever it is they talk about. It's usually catered, and then you go and ride the attractions.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see...
It sounds similar to what we saw last year.
I mean, corporate events differ from other corporate events, so what exactly you do and what your company springs for in terms of entertainment, because everything does have a price at Walt Disney World, is going to vary. So
Right.
It's hard to really, say that, oh, this is, you bought package A, which includes, A, B, and C.
Right, and you're basically renting the park. You're probably looking at different tiers of rental for the park. For instance, you could have these attractions open during your party. You can have these attractions open. Here is the catering menu that you can pick your options from, and basically that would be it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I can't find anything on Google other than a black and white ball. Some sort of charity thing. No, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what it is. Could always call the Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah. Good point. Our next question is from Stephen Johnson, who writes, I was listening to show 152 about the preferred rooms at Scopa Towers. I recently stayed at Scopa Towers, formerly known as Pop Century, for the Night of Joy celebrations, and I talked with a cast member about what exactly was preferred. They have added to the preferred area significantly. This is a big concern for me because I lead groups going to Walt Disney World. Gotta love youth group prices. The preferred sections are now 50s courtyard side, 60s all rooms, and 70s courtyard side rooms. The All-Star movies have changed at the same time. It's now Fantasia, 101 Dalmatians, and Toy Story are all preferred. Only Herbie and Mighty Ducks are standard.
So what, are they just raising the prices and just going building by building and doing it?
Adding $10 to the price, I
Exactly.
suppose. Of course, if you're staying at movies and you have a choice between Herbie and Mighty Ducks, you might as well stay at Mighty Ducks because then you can walk over to All-Star Music.
Yeah.
So which ones were preferred in All-Stars? All-Star movies? Fantasia?
Fantasia, 101 Dalmatians, and Toy Story.
Why would they be?
Well, movies is the most popular of the 3 All-Star resorts.
Right.
So they're trying to capitalize on people staying there, by forcing their hand almost by saying, well, we do have some out here in the boonies, but if you stay over here, because when you book a lot of these things, a lot of people book this online on the Disney World website or through Disney,
right.
And they just say, I want to stay at All-Star movies, and a lot of times the preferred rooms get defaulted.
Mm-hmm.
So, $10 a night isn't a major thing. Most people don't notice the price difference or more importantly, don't know that there is something $10 cheaper per night. But I suspect it has to do with movies' popularity.
I guess, yeah.
Let's move on to our next email, which is from Brody of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hi, guys. I'm curious about the other Disney World Nighttime Spectacular, the Electrical Water Pageant. Last time I visited the world, I caught a glimpse of this water pageant from the monorail as we were leaving for the day. I've never heard of it before, and it's tough to track down information about it. What are the best places to watch this, and if any of you have seen it, what do you think of it?
That's been around for a long time. Long time, like 30 years or so, and I believe that it starts. I'm pretty sure that it takes place in front of the Magic Kingdom. It also takes place at Grand Floridian, at the Polynesian, at Fort Wilderness, at Wilderness Lodge, and the Contemporary. I believe it starts at the Grand Floridian at sometime around 9 o'clock, and every 10 or 15 minutes it moves to the next Magic Kingdom resort in the rotation. I personally think that the beach at the Polynesian, the beach that is on the rear of the volcano pool, I think that's the best place. It's right near an area called Sunset Point, and there are swings there. There is there are speakers in the ground so that after the parade has the water pageant parade, and I think, Len, you'd recommend seeing it at night, right? After the parade, the parade, you can stay there and you can watch Wishes and you can hear it. So for my money, the Polynesian beach.
Yeah, I've actually watched it from the Polynesian too. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Great. Our next email comes from Jamie Snyder of Clifton Park, New York.
Jamie,
who writes, love the show, guys. This one took me by surprise, and I'm only asking because it caught me as strange. I was trolling eBay for theme park souvenirs, not that I have $2,500 for a fiberglass broom stature, and I came across someone selling fast passes from Hong Kong Disney for $10. Not that I would purchase these, but that seems a little steep for a paper souvenir, and frankly, I've never kept a fast pass after I used it. Or can these be used? Is there some sinister plot to the privilege to get golden fast passes in Hong Kong? And if so, I seem to remember one of the gang or Jim Hill saying something like that. And wow, while I was typing this, someone did buy it now. Seems like a lot of money to spend for a worthless paper. Should I be keeping my old fast passes? How about the stick from my ice cream? Everything goes up on eBay. I think this is just a case of people just wanting souvenirs from somewhere they'll probably never be able to go, which is Hong Kong.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are two ways of looking at it. One is just as a paper souvenir, which is moderately interesting. But then the other thing is if they want to actually use it for something in the park. So, like if you're going to Walt Disney World Fast Passes, those are worth like $5 each, according to Disney for the Year of a Million Dreams thing.
Right.
And you can definitely use them. I mean, there's a decent chance that you can use them. I think in the unofficial guide research that we did early in the year, we found that your chances are better, almost 90%, in being able to use an expired FastPass. So, is it worth $5 a pop? I don't know. I mean, for a family of 4 for $20 for one ride, I would be willing to send the official guide research team down there to grab some fast passes for some people.
Right.
That seems like it's pretty steep.
I just think it's just someone saying, well, here's something you can't get because you're probably not going to Hong Kong. I know I'm probably never be to Hong Kong. And if I really, if I'm a big Disney aficionado, I want something from over there, well, here you go. I can say I have one even though I've never actually been there.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's my take on it. I don't think there's the vast conspiracy that our listener was alluding to. But our next email is from Roger from Sebago, Maine, who writes, podcast is great as always. Keep up the great work, guys. Recently heard episode 153 about urban theme park planning. I was very surprised to hear that even huge Disney nerds like you didn't know some of the backstories behind things in the Magic Kingdom that Sam Genoa was talking about. How does Disney expect people to ever find out about all of these stories? What is the point of creating all these great stories when there seems to be no way for the casual visitor to find out about them, let alone Disney files like you four?
Yes, good question.
I always,
well, they've published a few books, but
I look at it like when you read a novel, and when you read a novel, you don't have to be an English major in order to find all the symbolism to figure it's a good book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm with you. You can see things on the surface, and they're still very good. But as you probe further into it, and like in a good book, you'll find that link to this and this link to that, and they're all connected.
Right.
And I think I see it that way.
The one. Go ahead.
No, you go. Okay.
That was awesome.
Go ahead. Age before beauty. Go ahead.
I think the thing you want to watch there is that you're not inventing your own mythology that kind of fits the scene. I mean, one of my big beefs about literature and trying to figure out what the story is that unless the author explicitly said this is what the story is about, it's more of a Rorschach test for you than it is for the search for some deeper meaning in the story. So really, unless the author actually said, here's what I intended to do with my story, it's all sort of pretty much what you make it. I could be wrong.
I think that there are. I'm pretty sure that Len has heard some of the stuff beforehand, and I'm sure Matt, you and Mike and I think a lot of people have heard a few things, and I think that what Disney likes to do is they like to hint at some of the things that are there, so that you keep going back, you keep looking at the coloration near Liberty Square, near the Haunted Mansion, near the Hall of Presidents, and wonder why it's that color in the middle of the road and not that color on the outside of the walkway. I mean, I'll plant that seed out there, and there are other things there, and I think that there's a lot of thought that went into the design and development of these theme parks, and I don't know if Disney wants to have everybody look into them. And again, like Len said, you'd have some false ideas. So okay, they did this because of this. No, I mean, there's a little mystique there, and there's a little history, and I think what it boils down to is that there's a lot of thought that went into the design and development of all the theme parks, and once in a while, everybody's going to come across something, and when you do, you'll have a much deeper appreciation for what the Imagineers put together.
Cool. I think you hit it right on the head right there, Scopa.
No.
I'm not that freaking Brad.
I think it's just it's not, everything isn't just on the surface. This isn't just random theming. I mean, this is just what Sam is trying to show here is not great storyline, because you don't have storyline when you're planning cities. I mean, this is at the base of it good planning in terms of an urban design,
right.
And everything kind of builds on each other, and you can't. That's how you see that it's good, because you have these kinds of stories and it makes sense. That's why when you say, "Oh, well, that makes sense. Why this is this?" and never mind that it's it's good for crowd control and
Right,
and everything
exactly.
else.
Yeah, it works both ways. Yeah.
And did you ever hear that the Main Street USA in the Magic Kingdom is built on a very slight incline, so that it's easier for the guests to leave the park at night because you're very much walking downhill from the castle. A lot of people don't know that, but the designers
Yeah,
did that.
I'd have to put a marble on the road to actually see it roll.
Yeah.
Like a basketball, it wouldn't. It'd be something the unofficial guide would try and test.
We'll have to do an egg roll on
Exactly. On Mouse Fest, exactly.
just to prove the scope of theory correct.
Exactly.
Put
I
that
like
in the Mouse Fest schedule. Egg roll. Magic Kingdom.
But then the booklet.
Exactly.
Well, that's it for us today. This has been episode number 158 of Walt Disney World Today. Be sure to stop by the Walt Disney World Today website for older episodes, show notes, and the ability to contact us. For Len Testa, Mike Newell, and Mike Scopa, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.